Ron here, our resident and Texline installer, so he'll talk us through a little bit of the process for the preparation of the product.
First things first, roll the vinyl out into a sunny area if possible. So yeah, you've got to make yourself some room here. Plan it all out. The longer you can get that on the floor in the sun in a warm area, the better it is. If you've got wrinkles in your vinyl, you can just forget it. Take it back to the workshop, get it laid out flat. So once you've done that, plan it out, cut out your lengths, and then you work from there. So we're going to start with an easy room first. This is the laundry. As we said before, it's an old building, so things are not square. So the best thing to do is try and square it up the best you can. Preferably a most obvious wall, perhaps the longest one. I've spoken to the owner, which is probably the best thing to do, is explain yourself first. And we're going to go half and half. So we've chosen the easy room first. So to give you an idea how this works. First of all though, we better look at some of the products we're going to use. So you might want to get started on a spray contact. I'll use that, but later on when you're doing a lot more of this, you want to look at a larger quantity, and this is a very good product. Quite expensive, over $400, around $450, but it goes a lot further. These things clog up after a while and they get quite expensive when you're using them in a small quantity or large quantity. One good thing about this...
Ron, what's the reason for the spray contact?
Right, the reason why we're doing this is we need to get the vinyl tight. If you're going to have no glue whatsoever, you're going to have to make the vinyl short, and no one wants their vinyl cut short. So by spraying the contact around the edges, we can get the vinyl nice and tight, and that will create a memory in the vinyl so that should someone want to lift it up later on, they can and put it straight back down again and the vinyl won't be bubbling up. So I will start by spraying one wall. The problem with this stuff is it's clear and you can't see it, but then the advantage is no one else can see it either if you get it in the wrong place.
Brilliant one.
Don't even bother trying to cut the stuff without heating it up. You need a hot air gun. You need one of those blades, and you need a fresh blade every time you cut this vinyl. It needs a sharp blade every time. So heat the vinyl up, don't overheat it, just pliable. Same when you're putting the vinyl in the sun, make sure it's not extreme heat, because that can cause other problems, make the vinyl too pliable and even stretch it. This wall is horrendously out, so is the other one. Your hand behind there, follow behind like that. Look at that.
Perfect edge.
Now you'll see it's given a beveled edge. So you haven't got as much pressure on the vinyl as it would if it was a straight edge like so. That against the wall, so I've got a lot more pressure than that beveled edge. I'll pull that back. See, it's not sticking too much, but just enough to hold it in place. So I've shown you with that glue, now I'll show you with the other glue. Try and do your sides first before you do the ends. And that way it gives the vinyl plenty of time to move any wrinkles out. I want to be careful with this stuff because it's green. not clear. Don't get too close to the edge, although all is not lost, it will come off. I'll do 2 walls, I won't do too much. You only need to do one side.
One surface, you mean?
That's a good idea, why not flip that over? Right, so we'll do this wall here first. Corner in. Get yourself a real knife. If you overheat it, it'll roll up behind the knife and it'll be hard to work.
What's the reason for that specific blade, Ron?
This blade will go right into the base of the skirting, and all I'm doing is that.
Yeah.
If that vinyl was invisible, I would see that. That's not going anywhere. It's stuck in there.
Yeah. So you don't run any risk of cutting off the line.
Exactly.
You're basically scribing it to the skirting, which really takes away the need for a pattern.
It certainly does. And if you looked at that, it's probably half a millimetre higher than what you'd normally do. Which is handy when you've got some gaps. Now, if it's wrinkled up a little bit, which it has just slightly there, pull it back, get your hand, push it in, now it's acting like a contact. Just got rid of that wrinkle. Heating up the vinyl as well will also heat up the glue, because you're wondering why it hasn't tacked off already. Cut that corner. Here's another good thing you can do. Making sure there's no wrinkles behind you. So consequently you need the right footwear.
A good pair of warehouse trainers.
Yeah. The ends usually need a bit more heating up. You can heat it back a bit further. Sometimes we'll get some furry bits on the back of this. You see them there. Or sometimes they appear here. So run the hot air gun over it again and it just melts them away.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, should you get a bit of that green glue on the skirting, rubberise. Off cut, rub it off. Using my finger as a guide. How's that?
Looks fantastic.